So I'm just telling people, I don't want to tell you the whole story. I didn't lose any money, and it all ended up okay. I lost 5 hours of my life, and it makes me so mad. But my computer was doing something that I thought could be fixed simply over the phone with the geeks with whom I have a contract. I work with them all the time. So I Googled their 800 number. Big mistake. I had no idea. I got it was a fraudulent number, and it went into this whole thing. So I just watch who you get your phone numbers from. I get phone numbers on Google all the time. Make sure it's the website of who you want.
Is that the Best Buy one?
Yeah.
Bing as a browser is even worse than that, or as a search engine is even worse.
Right.
Because they'll put like sponsored ads, and it looks like what you're looking for.
Right, and that is annoying.
But
And I knew about those, but anyway. So anyway, I'm warning you. This is a book that I just love. And I looked it up to say today to see if it were in print. It has only had one printing. And it was printed in 1977.
One printing?
One printing. And when you look at it online, you can get it easily online. There are used copies all over the place, and it's very likely that I got this at Easton's.
What's the name of the book?
It's called The Key to Chinese Cooking by Irene Kuo, K-U-O. It's Alfred Knopf. It's Judith Jones is the editor, and Judith Jones was Julia Child's editor, and everybody else. I mean, it's such a cool book. So anyway, if you spot it, or it's wonderful, and I just wanted to read you one quick thing. Cookbook writers are interesting. Some of them are really good at it, and some of them not so much. The recipes are fine, but their writing is something. This is about rapid searing, which is stir frying. Add the main ingredients in a scattering motion. She tells you. Not all at once, so the oil temperature doesn't drop too much. Then immediately start stirring with a pair of chopsticks, a wooden fork, a spatula, or any implement you feel comfortable with. The crucial point is to remember is that stir frying is not the flat circular movement one usually associates with stir. The ingredients are tossed, turned, flipped, swept, poked, and swished according to how they are cut and how they best move rapidly in the pan. So it's that kind of writing that you can enjoy, and it's teaching you definitely not just recipes, but about Chinese cooking. So anyway, Key to Chinese Cooking.
Does the library have a copy?
No.
We're gonna
And
look
then
for
I
one.
thought, well, they can buy one. They're gonna look for a good used copy. But anyway, it's the kind of, it's a reference book. More Cantonese than Szechuan, but some of both, so anyway. It's one of my treasures. All right. Let us talk. I wasn't even sure that Moo Goo Gai pan was a thing. And she said that it's a thing of Chinese American restaurants. But stir fry isn't really a recipe. It's a technique, it's a method. And most of what I want to give you tonight is permission. to do whatever you want to do. It's just a way to cook your very favorite vegetables. And it's quick. The cooking is very quick. The preparation is somewhat longer. But I think I'm looking around, there probably aren't too many of you who have little kids at your house, or even medium-sized ones.
That's very cool.
But it's something that, it's a way to get kids to eat vegetables. If you put, if you make them taste Chinese, they're more likely to be willing. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is cut up the chicken. Some of the, it's not very exciting. I personally like less meat in my stir fries. That is personal. This is about a half a pound of chicken, of chicken breast. And this is, it says it's for 4 people. I'm not sure this would feed 400 people, but anyway. Here you are with this silly old piece of chicken. It's just a chicken breast. You want to, I'm really careful with chicken. I don't know where it's been, how it's been raised, most of it. Sometimes I do if I get it from a farmer. I use a particular cutting board for it that I put on top of my cutting board, just because that seems like a good idea to me.
Why is that? The chicken is...
Well, there are a lot of things that, salmonella mainly.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to wash chicken. You know about that? If you buy a whole chicken, you're not supposed to wash it. Because, and this is from the government, you spread the salmonella all over the kitchen when you wash it. You get it on your board, you get it hither, you get it on. And so they recommend that you not wash it, which is hard for me, but nevertheless. Okay, you want to cut this in 1-inch pieces. You cook the meat separately, but the finished product, you want everything to be about the same size. And so we're going to cut this in 1-inch chunks, which is hard when one end of the chicken is 1.5 inches, but we don't have to be fussy. So that's it. It's close enough.
Are there any other meats that you're not supposed to wash for that same reason?
I haven't heard that. People are, people who know about such things are particularly concerned about chicken. I don't know. Okay, and then I'm not doing this, I'm not measuring, but except with my eye. You want everything to cook at the same speed. So if I've got little tiny ones like this and big blobby ones like this, one of them's going to be overdone and one of them could be underdone. So, and I'm not going to not throw that little piece in. It's way too frugal for that. I'll just make sure. Okay. These aren't very pretty, but I think you should know some of my secrets. I collect old pie plates at, what do you call it, garage sales and stuff, because it's really easy to have them in the drawer, and they're just useful to throw things in. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna very carefully wash my hands. Oh, and then I'm gonna stick them in there, so there you go. I want a teaspoon of oil, and this is just to keep the pieces separated when you're stir frying them. And a teaspoon is, the measurement is not important. There's your teaspoon. And it says salt and pepper at this point. And what I like to do is put soy sauce on at this point rather than salt and pepper. You can choose. And just a little. But the soy sauce becomes the seasoning, and the meat should be seasoned. So. And we're gonna cook that first, set it aside. And we're gonna make very sure that what we eat isn't gonna go back into that pan. That's why I brought two of my beautiful. Then the second thing I'm gonna do is the sauce. And it's a simple sauce, it isn't cooked. The sauce kind of doesn't matter. If you like it and it's Asian, you can pour it out of a bottle if you've got some kind of sauce you like in a bottle.
Coconut aminos are really flavorful.
Yes, yeah. And you know, well, we did pad thai a few months ago. We did dan dan noodles a few months ago. Both of these have really yummy sauces. And they're just as good on stir fry as they are on noodles. So that I think they're sitting back there so you can get them if you like. And just use them as a standard.
What is that?
Pardon me? Pad thai and dan dan noodles. Yeah, they're over there somewhere. Okay. A teaspoon of cornstarch. Again, these, I mean, you don't have to do like that or anything, but the cornstarch is important not to have too much because it gets, I use the word wonky, which I made up, but you know exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm using water because nobody's going to eat it. If I were home and going to eat it, I would use chicken broth. But my chicken broth is very precious, and I don't share it with people who aren't going to eat it. Okay, 2 tablespoons. It says low sodium soy sauce. This is Japanese soy sauce. It's Kikkoman's, but just
what?
Kikkoman. The light soy, Chinese soy sauce is fine, or just soy sauce. Don't worry about it. It's fine because we're not putting any other salt in. Okay, I guess I'll put just tablespoons. I think rice vinegar is really important in this sauce. In any sauce, you'll find an acid in all of these sauces. It brings up the flavors of what you're doing. I started with a sauce I cut out of the paper and ended up adding rice vinegar. This is, in recipes they call it rice wine vinegar. It is not. It's just rice vinegar. And even if it says rice wine vinegar, it's just rice vinegar. And if it says seasoned, and that sounds like a good idea to you, it's not a good idea. Seasoned rice vinegar is very sweet. And I mean, if you want it to be sweet, then, you know, that's fine. And there are times you might want it to be sweet. But I thought, oh, right, that's seasoned. That just sounds so cool. Not. Because it's very, very sweet. Okay, a teaspoon of honey. Or sugar, doesn't matter. I had a stir fry for lunch today that I bought offline, and it was so sweet. It was terrible. I poured in the rice vinegar. This is another thing. You just want an edge of sweetness, and that it's that sweet acid balance that makes all the difference in everything we eat and drink, or at least in wine, doesn't make much difference. And there's no particular reason to use honey or sugar. It's all the same. I usually put the toasted sesame oil at the end. I dribble it on at the end. Because if you cook with sesame oil, you lose the flavor. It just goes away. This doesn't cook enough. You still taste it, so you can choose when you want it to go in. That's a tablespoon. This, I get this, you'll find out if you come to my cooking classes that I love the grocery outlet. These, I get this from the good grocery outlet. It's a big bottle. I keep it in the fridge. Nut and seed oils should go in the fridge. It's delicious, and when it's toasted sesame oil, it has wonderful flavor. Just sesame oil, you don't get as much flavor. And that's true of any sesame oil. It's kind of expensive, like at the co-op and stuff, but I get this big bottle and keep it in the fridge, and that's forever. Okay, and then it's up to you how much crushed chilies. I'm kind of a wimp, and so I'll put like 2 pinches. That's probably up to a ½ teaspoon. I never say, oh, my favorite thing. Hoisin sauce is my favorite thing. It's kind of like ketchup, Chinese ketchup. I think probably a Chinese person would say, oh, you know, like we say, oh my God, when people put ketchup on things we don't think they should. But for some reason, it really adds to the sauce. And that's available in grocery stores. It's easy to find.
Do you always follow with measuring spoons? Because I can't like just throw it in. I mean, I've been cooking long enough that I just.
Right. As long as things are proportional. You know, it's just because you like honey, you could dump it in, but it would really throw off that sweet acid balance. But I have an eye, I know, you know, what's.
So at home, you would just dump it.
Yeah, to some extent, anyway. I don't want to give you permission.
Well, I have to do the dishes, and I don't wanna.
Yeah, yeah.
Open the jar, throw it in.
Okay, did I get everything in there? You guys have to keep an eye on me, because sometimes when I'm talking. Okay. It says to whisk it up, and I forgot my whisk. And I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna have to stir it again, because if you've used cornstarch, you know what's gonna happen. It all sinks to the bottom, so. In fact, if I didn't stir it now, it wouldn't matter a bit. Okie dokie, now we have to. One thing about stir fry, you have to get every single thing ready before you start. Because it can really mess things up if you have to go hunting for something in the middle of the cooking. Because you're cooking with a pretty hot pan, and the whole point of it is to cook it quickly and to just. In fact, this one, you put all the vegetables in one bowl, which I haven't done, I don't usually do. Well, I'll talk about them as I go. I went to Waxwing this week, you know, Waxwing Farm Stand on the Dyke Road. Or no, where is it, Dyke Road? Just past Blackburn, just south of Blackburn. It's a wonderful farm stand. It's open on Wednesdays and then Waxwing, like
What
Cedar
street is it on?
Dyke Road.
Dyke Road.
I'm not really sure.
Brick Road.
Britt Road, yeah, you're right. You go down Blackburn to Britt Road and turn left, and it's not a quarter mile down, which is say it's real close. Sorry, I do that. When I said Dyke Road, I thought, I don't think I'm right. Anyway. And I was hoping they would have either snow peas or sugar snaps, but it's just too early. And so I decided to use broccoli. The farmers markets are open now, and keep an eye, because those early sugar snaps, there's nothing better for a stir fry than sugar snaps. They cook quickly, they're crunchy, they're sweet, and snow peas too. I'm a nutcase, that's all there is to it. I peel my broccoli. Oh, she peels it. I just do, and people knock me and laugh, but I like it that way. Yes. It is, and you don't end up with stringy stuff in your mouth. And you can use, I brought the bottom of the stem, because broccoli stems are delicious. And you can, that looks like a pretty tough old thing, right? It isn't, except for the, look at that. Yeah, it comes right off. And I really like broccoli stems remind me, they're not exactly the same, but they remind me of artichoke hearts, and that's my favorite food in all the world. So
Yeah.
it's close enough. Let's see. When it gets up into these, you don't have, well, you don't ever have to even do it. The Chinese don't do it, but I do it. Suit yourself. And this is a whole class about permission. Suit yourself. I cut these in pretty small pieces because everything's going, the vegetables are all going to cook together. So you want everything to get done at the same time. And you can,
Oh, very small.
yeah, they're real small. And again, it's just a matter of cutting things. If you can cut them bigger, but make sure everything then is bigger, because you want it all to get done at the same time.
What size was your snap piece that you cut in half?
Well, if it's that long, maybe 3, in half or 3, and if you're cool, you cut them on the diagonal. And I was about not to do that, but I will do it because it's so cool.
It'll taste different if you don't have it.
Because the other thing about this is it's pretty. And that's another reason people will eat vegetables that don't usually love them, is because this is so pretty. Then we have, the shiitakes, I'm gonna talk about the mushrooms. I just got creminis because they have a good texture and they keep their texture. Shiitakes they have a better flavor, but they're a little slimier. So it depends on what you want. If you're a texture, if you want texture, I cut them pretty thick too, so because these cook faster than the broccoli. So I cut them pretty thick. And you could even quarter them. And let's see, I cut that in 3, and this is a pretty regular size of a cremini, and these have really good flavor. Okay, what else do we have in here? Mushrooms are for texture. They have a softer texture. The broccoli is kind of a medium. The peas would be medium. This is for color. And I brought the whole thing because sometimes peppers aren't rectangular. They just pretend to be. And so, anyway, I just thought I'd talk about cutting them. The skins on the outside can be tough and your knife can slip off of them. You don't want any seeds in your food. Seeds tend to, a lot of things tend to be bitter. Can you see this part? Yell at me if you can't see something.
Huh?
Yell at me if you can't see something, and I will throw something at you. Okay. You want to keep your fingers out of the way, kind of curled down. It says 1-inch pieces. I'll do that just because it says it, but these are small inches. And these will be 3/4 of an inch at the end here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just the same relative size. I'm cutting from the inside because the skin my blade won't slip off the outside. Okay. These are for color. And it has a carrot in. I don't always use carrots in stir fry just because they're so dense. They're so much harder than anything else you're using. So you just want to cut. These need to be cut really thinly because of that. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping my knuckles up on the knife because if my knuckles are on the knife, it's not going to cut me. But if they aren't, if they're like this, I'm just going to cut my fingers right off. So you want to keep them curled under. This guy is the bad guy because even if your fingers are curled, he wants to stick out. But if you stick your wing out, if you watch chefs on television cut fast, I don't cut fast, I don't care. But if you watch them, you'll always see they get down like this, and in the first place, the first thing I should have done is made a flat place so that my carrot doesn't roll. Of course, then I made it in the wrong place. Do what I say, not what they're pretty darn thin. Because, anyway, they can be crunchy to the point where you don't want it. You know, a really good vegetable for stir fries is celery, if you like celery. Some people hate celery, at which point don't bother. But it has a really nice crunch, and it keeps it when it's cooked a little bit. I was kind of following the recipe, and I didn't. I would, oh no, it didn't. I would cut up a green onion and scallion and scatter it over the top.
I've been buying green onions and then cutting them all up, putting them in the freezer.
That's smart.
When I want
And
to
just
pop it with green onions, I just take it out.
and throw them in. Do you do them on a cookie sheet or something so they stay separate? You don't have to.
And take that on the thaw. That way I've always got green onions.
Great. You can do that with ginger too, which I'm
I do that with ginger too. And bake it. Cook it, all your bacon at once. And
in the
put it
oven,
in the
right?
freezer.
In the oven,
And
yes.
then when you want a BLT, you just take your 3 slices out of the freezer and it's ready to go. 4 slices.
Baking bacon.
In that case, you have to go get in the fry pan. Sure.
Again, I don't want to do the dishes.
Yeah. Exactly. Do it on a rainy day. That's a cooking day. Okay, oh, the only thing we don't have cut out is the ginger. This is about my favorite food. Lately, it's been really hard to find fat pieces of ginger. Have you noticed that? They're little weedy everywhere. I don't know. I found this big fat one at Safeway yesterday. I was so happy. Do you know about peeling ginger with a spoon?
No.
It's, do you remember a TV chef called Martin Yan? Yan can cook. Martin Yan taught me this. It takes it right off. It takes the skin's real thin, And you really don't want the skin of the ginger in things you're gonna eat. Now this one's got some whoopies in it that have to be cut out. But usually you can do the whole process with a spoon. And the spoon goes, you know, like it goes in the cracks in the, it's just a something that might make your life easier or it might not. It's fat, but it has a lot of. Do you know, I just learned something the other day. You know pickled ginger, like you get when you eat sushi? You get, it's pink, and you get slices of pickled ginger. You can use that instead of fresh ginger, and I'll tell you what, you don't have to peel it. And you don't, and the pickly isn't very pickly. Yeah, you can buy, I don't know where I got it, maybe at the Asian store, maybe, I don't know, but I got a jar of pickled ginger. It lasts forever in the fridge, and I just love it.
Maybe that new Asian store in Burlington has it,
I haven't been there, where is it?
Where's the sewer?
right across the bridge, on the left-hand side.
Across-
Right where the McDonald's is.
Right near what?
It's,
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dive-On or
Oh,
Dive.
that's-
Yeah, there's groceries in there.
Really?
There's also an Asian store on the Mount Vernon side of the station.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
that's Filipino, or Filipino owned. So they have more Philippine stuff than, and, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It isn't a wonderful,
But they have the wasabi and different spices and stuff.
oh, that's great to
That
know.
one on the.
Because I've been in the one in Vancouver, or in Richmond, I guess, that Daiso.
Oh.
Japanese-
wines and- yeah.
Japanese dollar store is
Yeah.
what I call it, so much fun, but I didn't know they had groceries. I will look. Okay, you gotta cut across the ginger because it's so stringy. So, again, you wanna just do really thin slices so that half of your mincing is done. How much do I want?
2 teaspoons.
And if I cut two, I'm not gonna measure this, I'm gonna cut what I cut and put it all in. And because I like ginger, I'll err on the overside. But that should be about it. And anytime I move my knife fast, I have my hand on top of it. Not underneath, not where I'm gonna catch it. Okay, well, I'm fussing around here. This is, I always say it wrong, it's an induction burner. It works by magnetism. It only heats where the pan hits the stove. It's wonderful, because it doesn't have extra heat making you sweat. And if something boils over, it doesn't cook on, you know how it does on a ceramic top? Because it isn't hot. I have a whole stove at home, and I borrowed one of these from the college for a year. Not for a year, for a summer. They wouldn't let me have it all. Yeah, really.
But you can't use all pans on it.
That's true, but you
There's
know what?
something about the pan that,
It has to be magnetic.
yeah.
But I
I don't
saved
work on
up for
everything.
that range because I really wanted one. And it turned out most of my pans were just fine, were magnetic. The only ones that weren't were scan pans because they're aluminum, they're cast aluminum. And I had one other that I had to give away, but I carried a magnet, you know, just a refrigerator magnet in my purse. And every time I go to Goodwill and I'd see a pan that I thought was, that I'd like, I'd chomp it in response. So anyway, I don't know why this went off. Ms. Clow tells you to cook with a very hot pan, and I don't. I'm kind of chicken about it. Anyway, I don't want to burn it, and I want it to get done, so. Back to mincing my garlic. I don't mind biting into a piece of garlic, but if you're cooking for somebody who might, then you probably should mince it really small. I think this is a tablespoon. It's asking. Hot wok, cold oil. That's a mantra that you say to yourself. You heat the pan and then put the oil in. And she has the explanation for that. It's, if the pan is heated, then it doesn't stick so much. What kind of oil? This should probably be done in batches. And I'm supposed to, all those things that I read. I'm not going to cook this all the way because it's going back in and it can finish cooking, but I don't want globs of dry chicken in my stir fry. I've really just gotten it white on the outside. I can tell it's not really done. You can just tell by, because it's kind of squishy. But that's fine, because when I put it back with the vegetables and the sauce, it'll cook the rest of the way. I'm putting this in a clean pan. get in the new building, we're gonna have a licensed kitchen where you can taste everything I make. I hate this part where I can't feed you after tempting you with wonderful smells. But I'm promising you, after, when we have a commercial kitchen and it's licensed, then I can.
I mean, we don't get to eat this.
You don't get to eat it. The library staff eats it. But you are the public.
You guys are watching.
And you can't feed the public out of an unlicensed
When
kitchen.
you move into this new building,
We are hoping August 10th.
that's during the county fair. You don't want to, you know, fair.
Well, it'll be more fun than the fair, that's all there is to it.
County fairs.
I just turned this off for a minute because this is the stupid thing that I told you not to do. I guess if I do it, then you'll remember. I have to stop and chop up the garlic because I didn't do that. And this is kind of a natural break, but smack the garlic. Didn't smack it hard enough. You smack it hard enough, the skin will. I always cut off the little dry end. And when you smack it, you really have about half of your job done, which, and you can see, I've got my fingers all scrunched up so that they're not out there to get bitten. All right. Back to the pan. The other thing about an induction stove is the heat comes right on like gas, and it goes right off like gas. And that is fantastic because it doesn't hold the heat like you can't put your hand down on it. I mean, it's too hot for that, but it's,
What brand is your hot plate induction stove?
Duck's Top, D-U-X-T-O-P. And the library bought it. I was borrowing them from the college, and I really like this guy. I like it better than the one that the college bought.
DUX?
D-U-X-T-O-p.
Where do you buy it?
I got it off Amazon.
Where?
Amazon. You can get them.
I don't go to Amazon very much.
Well, I don't either, but
Local merchants.
you can get them, I don't know, Ace probably has it.
Well, the store, the restaurant store sells.
Yeah, they might have them. Where the heck is mine? Do you see my?
What kind of oil are you
Oh,
using?
there it is. Pardon me?
What kind of oil are you using?
This is canola.
Okay.
It's my preferred cooking oil. It's a healthy oil and it has a high smoke point.
Would you repeat the name of that again? The oil? Canola.
I can't hear what you're asking.
She didn't hear the name of the oil.
Oh, it's just canola.
Okay.
People say to cook with olive oil, and olive oil has a low smoke point, and it smokes, and it breaks up, and it's not nice. I buy nice olive oil and just add it at the end as like the nut oils, like the sesame oil and the walnut oil and all those that I want for flavor, but they're not good cooking.
Avocado oil also has really high smoke.
Yeah, avocado oil is good. And I think there's avocado oil, whatever that brand is at grocery outlet.
Why can't we eat this again?
Because I'm into torturing people.
Well,
That's the main reason I came here tonight. I said,
Because you thought you were getting dinner.
free dinner.
No.
Yeah, we in a section of the whole thing, because you can't eat. No.
What you want to do, and I think you got me talking, so I didn't put enough oil in. It's all your fault. You want the oil to coat the vegetables.
Coach it, you said?
Coat them.
Coach.
Coat. Now I didn't bring a lid, but at home I cheat. But she says, I was looking at her book, and she says you should do this. What I do is pour just a little water in. And then put a lid on it. If you have all real tender vegetables like the peas, you don't have to do that. Or if you have asparagus, things that are really tender by themselves. But if you're using broccoli, and I looked at Safeway yesterday for sugar snaps, and they're awful. And they're coming from maybe California, probably Mexico. They've been in the truck way too long. I just thought it was better to use broccoli, which is real fresh and nice, because I made the mistake of buying some, when I was testing this, sugar snaps in a cellophane package. A part of it's disappointment, and you know, they're not sweet, they aren't crisp, they're just, so stick with fresh vegetables. And the reason I wanted to do this, excuse me, this demo now is we're right on the edge of real fresh vegetables at your farmer's market.
Be here soon.
If you want to put green beans in there, you could, but,
Pardon me?
drink green beans, they're really good. They look
When they
really-
come,
They look really good at Safeway's brand, just gonna let you
Oh,
know. They look
really?
Really good today, yeah.
I usually don't eat them until they come in because I get disappointed, which makes me crabby.
You don't want that.
You do this class every month?
Pardon me?
Is this class held every month?
What do we do, 8 a year? Or I don't do every one of them. One that's coming up is a Ukrainian cook.
What is that?
The next in-person one is in August, and that's the Ukrainian cooking class. So that'll be in the new building.
There's not a, is there a date? No,
I have to look it up. I will go do that.
she'll get the date. And then there's a Ukrainian one coming up and is it Mexican?
Well, I don't think we have a recipe from it yet, so
Okay,
I'm not sure.
okay. They come along, but you have to drop by the library or go online and
Or sign up for our newsletter.
sign up for the newsletter that you get online, right? Or can you get that in the mail?
No, it's just through your email.
Okay, so you have to drop by, John. Okay, I'm gonna put the ginger and the garlic in now. Garlic burns so easily, and when it burns, it's not forgiving. You just really need to start over. So I wanted to put it in the, so it would have a minute. Can you smell it out there yet?
Yeah.
It needs to do that. It needs to pop the oils.
Was that the sesame oil? Was that the sesame oil?
No, this, I'm doing all the stir frying with the canola.
Okay.
And the sesame oil is in the sauce.
Oh.
I'm stirring it up, I remember. Oh, the chicken? It's okay, it's forgiving. You're supposed to put the chicken in first.
Who's gonna eat this?
Whoever comes to work tomorrow. Whoever
What did you
will.
say?
You thought you were getting dinner, weren't you, Dawn?
You're not tonight,
You're
no,
right.
I'm here.
Chopsticks or something.
Well, very often Joanne Lynn is here, and she used to work for the health department, so we have to be really on our toes.
Okay, but before I give these dates, before I give these dates, I have to get permission from the library director and the mayor for anything in the new building, and I do not have that. But I have given them these dates, so I'm cautiously optimistic that these will be the dates. So Thursday, August 29th at 5:30 p.m. We don't know what the dish is, but it's a Ukrainian cooking demo with two women.
August 29th, you said?
Yeah. Two women from the Ukrainian
Not in
community
stone,
here.
but could be.
Can you eat the food?
Yes.
Yes, because they'll be in the new place.
Yeah.
Tuesday, September 17th, this is not a cooking program, but it's The Secret Life of Trees with National Park Ranger Jeff Hodge from the San Juan Historical Park. He spoke last year about the geology of the San Juan, so we're excited to have it
When's
back. Tuesday, September 17th.
September what?
17,
So at 5:30?
correct. And then Thursday, October 17th, at 5:30 p.m., we have we don't know it yet, cooking demo with Devin Gonzalez from the Center for, I can't remember, the ICIE. It's they help small business owners, and they're just down the street from us. So.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
That's what you've got. That looks tasty enough for kids, tasty enough enough for cranky adults who don't like their vegetables and everybody else. But you know, I don't think this would really feed 4 people. Do you? I don't think it would. I could eat half of that easily, and
I can eat it up for 4 people.
so just know that with your recipe that it might not, but you can tell. And, you know, there's a lot of chicken in there, I think. I think that's plenty for me, it's plenty of chicken. I'm not a meat eater, so. And there's sauce, so you serve it on rice or noodles. You know, the other thing, fried rice is a stir fry. So if you've got cold rice and throw it in there, all of a sudden, you've got fried rice.
There you go.
Or on a noodle dish. Anyway. I apologize abjectly. I'm an honorary Jewish mother, and I'm not Jewish and I'm not a mother, but I have those tendencies. I want to feed people. I want manja. I'm an honorary, nobody made me an honorary Italian.
I'll have to tell you a story. I was in Japan with 3 other people. It was kind of a business thing. Last night we were in Tokyo and we fly out in the morning, and we got notice of a restaurant down an alley, mom and pop place, that may have been the best Japanese food in all of Japan. And I went to these other 3 guys I was with, and I said, hey, and they said no. You know where they wanted to go? Denny's. I went to Denny's. We could have had the best food in Japan. We go to Denny's.
You just hang out
Still
with the
upset
wrong
about
people.
Good.
Well, that's all I have. If you have any questions, ask them.
You're awesome. That was great.
Thank you.
If there are things that, one of the things I've thought about teaching next fall is gnocchi.
Is what?
Gnocchi,
That's Japanese.
Japanese Italian. But if there are dishes or things that you're curious about, or ethnicities that you're curious about, please ask, because, you know, they can ask anybody in the county and to teach the class. So please, if you have preferences or interests, that you just kind of, you don't want to jump in with both feet, but you want to try.
Well, let's hear it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job.
Now, go straight to the Chinese restaurant.
Are you gonna make your little sauce, or you're gonna make bottles?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, yes.
I don't know where.
Mark left to get some frying.
I didn't see her. I couldn't turn my, I didn't find the back of my, how would I know she left?
I know.
She didn't say hello.
You're the oldest.
Oh, thank you. Where did,
And then have the person.
oh, the other one.
Well, I used to manage it, and then I was on the board.
Well, I have a feeling. I am not gonna. I know I still owe you a night. I still do. I volunteer. First someone says you know
She was sick of that.
I don't know. It's okay.
Because I didn't eat and I remember when we were going to down and his hotel had collapsed.
I'll come back and work.
How are you doing?
I am good. How are
Your
you?
favorite so adorable.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. I was looking at it from behind. It's a beautiful color. It was fun. And it was entertaining. How are you, Kim?
I hope we want to go up. I don't.
I said she's giving her own cooking class up there. That's the way to laugh. This is my adventure on this weekend. We played pickleball Sunday. The last time we saw each other, you said, you gave me your card, and you said, make sure and get a hold of Janice and we're talking. That's the last time that.
Why don't you call me?
You've got to call me. Good to see you. Yeah, how was Janice?
You gonna call me?
Someday, yes. We'll do it. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay, we'll call you.
Don't send me an email if someone doesn't
Yeah,
feel it.
okay.
Where do I know you from?
The Greek group.
The what?
The
Greek?
Grieving. Like grief group. Are you sure? He doesn't seem to. Yeah. Well, he wasn't in it.
When was that?
Did you meet in Hagen as a group? And he was there, right?
It was what?
It was probably 4 years ago.
And was it this Hagen?
It was, yes.
In Mount
We
Vernon,
met, I
up the
had
hill.
because we used to go to Burlington.
It was a Greek group?
Yes.
Did you
We
know
were sitting at the table, and they came over and talked to us. Yeah.
About what?
And then.
grief?
Okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah, have fun.
What did we talk about?
Good to see you. A little bit of grief.
And your name?
June, Cindy,
Cindy? And
Henry, Janice.
Dennis and
Don't
Jane.
confuse them. I know it.
Cindy, Cindy,
So sorry.
Cindy and Janice. Your name?
One.
And yours?
Kathy. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. The name sounds familiar. It's a Greek group or?
Did you speak at a grief group?
I don't know.
And then
What would you have spoken about? What's your experience with
I
it?
don't know.
No, she was just Higgins and came over and talked to us. That was
I don't remember this.
You didn't attend the
No,
group,
no.
you just came over to the group and mouthed off.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
meltdown.
And what were their names?
That's Cindy and Janice. Janice, yeah, I said Janice.
And your name?
Kathy.
I'm writing it down so, and then I'll forget it.
Well, you'll
All right.
never remember who we are after you look at
No,
that.
I know, I can't forget it, remember anything anymore. I gotta get going, I gotta go to a book club meeting.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you maybe next month or one of these days.
Maybe, yeah.
These guys. Nice to see you. And, Lena? I'll see you, where will I see you? Next, you come to these? First one I've been to. Well, I hope to see you again. All right. Yeah. Where will I see you next?
I don't know, every place I go there.
Huh? What's that?
Every place I go there.
I know I'm here. Where are we gonna see each other?
I don't know, McIntyre.
All right, McIntyre, I see you there all the time. You work here.
Thank you.
And that's this game. Put everything in the box, don't wash the dishes. There you go. And he's more limited what he can do. He hires someone for now. So, thank you for coming anyway, so she's taken over, all the books, she's 47 years old. They have all this energy, but they are working 2 jobs and raising 2 kids, but it's fun to be retired at 79. Stupid me. I know. Oh, I just did it so long, there was no reason to hire someone. So that was my thinking.
And then, it pays like you know you're doing it right.
Yeah, but easier, harder to teach someone how to do it.
paper, I came in with boxes of paper, receipts and everything. Oh, where did I put that? I couldn't get it. But, you know, she does everything online and she's so good.
Oh, good.
They're excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that's good for Dave. He'll be there if he wants to be. He wants to be there.
That's his, he's 110% and still is enthusiasm.
Okay, great. That's good to keep him going.
Yeah, oh, and he can do as much as he wants, or now that he has employees to help, and it's easier for him. He doesn't want to travel. He wants to work at the bookstore, Carrie. Yeah, so I've traveled with friends a lot. Anyway,
Well,
it's always nice to see you.
Nice to
Probably
meet
see
you.
you again.
It's nice meeting you, Kay.
We'll have to come again.
Thank you, Suzanne. That was wonderful.
Oh,
It
you're
was.
welcome. Can I see it, or did you get rid of it? No, I mean, see, that's what it looks
Yes,
like.
look, sniff.
Sorry.
That was wonderful. I've never worked with ginger, so that was interesting to see you feel it.
Good.
Oh, yeah, that looks really nice. That looks really good.
Wonderful. I think I'll thin every.
Yeah,
Carrots
the
are
carrots
hard.
have to be really thin. But the other thing is you can throw them in first and cook them a little while,
Oh.
and then put the broccoli in if you, for some reason,
Yeah.
don't want them that thin, so.
Now, can I use a frying, I've got a frying pan that is about this, half this height with the round edges.
All
What's-
you need, in fact, they tell you, use a frying pan rather than, see this has a flat bottom. You just need it flat on the heat. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
those round ones, you can't get enough heat on a burner, so it's better. I made mine today, just in a cast iron skillet. It wasn't special
That makes
at
sense.
all. If you've got a bunch of vegetables, you know, having a little bit deeper one is better, what you just
Yeah,
described.
and so it's made for how many, recipe for how many?
Well, it said 4, I don't think it's gonna feed for
Maybe for
2 or
the,
3.
Yeah,
Yes,
right,
yeah.
4 people my age.
right, yeah.
But I don't know, you know, it's mostly vegetables, so I can see this lasting 3 days, but I don't think it's gonna last 4 at my house.
Okay, well, if you wanna go, you can clean up also.
Okay, good to see you. And this book, I'm sure I got this from you.
Well, I'm not,
I know you're
It's
not there
familiar.
anymore. It's a wonderful book. I just told that other guy to go
Is that what
to
I was
ask
writing?
to look at these